Good morning and welcome to Enlightenment Newbie. My name is Alicia and this is my tarot series where I take a look at one card per video and I compare the traditional artwork against a deck of non-traditional art. And I read from the only tarot book you'll ever need by Sky Alexander and Mary Shannon. So I've already cleansed the deck and I have ask for the only highest good intentions into this deck, and I pulled a nice spread here for the 5 videos of the day. The first card I'm going to talk to you about though is the King of Cups. So sometimes when you pull tarot cards, you may pull, let's call them face cards. I'm not sure if they're called face cards, but when you pull face cards or symbols of people, they mostly all have symbols of people, but I mean like the kings, the emperor, and so on. That may trigger you to associate it with another human. It doesn't always have to be that way. Sometimes if you have like a king or a queen in your spread, and they can really be talking about both sides of you. So it's not always about another person. Sometimes it is it is you, it's just you, male, female, balancing those aspects of yourself. But when I see the King of Cups, I always think of a person. So I love this card. Cups is my favorite suit in the tarot because it has to do with feelings and emotions, and I associate the King of Cups with someone who has mastered those feelings, doesn't let their emotions rule them, which is an extremely hard thing to do, and still acknowledge them so your heart chakra isn't shut down. It is a very balanced and composed king. I'm going to look first at the non-traditional image. The really interesting thing about this image is cups are really about water. They can symbolize a water sign, and I don't see any water other than his cup. Maybe he's got like Hawaiian shaved ice. He's got a little slushy in his cup. He does have a bear coat on to keep him warm, and bears do like fish, so that could be something. But I see this someone is very, in this image, is someone's very protected. He's a warm individual, probably figuratively speaking as well, because he's the King of Cups. He does seem a little bit worried in his facial expressions, or maybe deep in thought. Some of the other kings are just very straight. They look forward, you know, they're very direct, or maybe they're about to take action, but he seems much more in his head in this card. I know you probably can't see it very well, but his little face in thought. So the traditional card here, he also seems very, I never realized that. He's all up in his head, huh? You know, for someone that's got his act together, probably battles his mind, but that makes a lot of sense. When you're a very emotional person, sometimes it's hard to balance logic, but that's how I see the King of Cups as. But if the King of Cups is an actual human, then maybe it's indicating that this individual has a lot of love or emotions towards the situation, but maybe they won't allow themselves to direct that in a kind of fashion. But he is balancing on the sea on his throne, and he's got a scepter and a cup, and he just seems like he's thinking about something here. As if someone was to come into his court and give him an idea or propose something, and he'd be like, Like, this is literally the face he's making. Okay, the King of Cups has a loving demeanor. He is a mature man, usually pictured seated on a throne, often with water in the background. Rarely is he shown wearing armor. Usually plain robes, so there is nothing of the militant about him. The king's expression is benign. I wouldn't say that. Or maybe I'm just a worrywart. His attitude is relaxed and non-threatening. Upright. This king indicates a man who is kindly disposed, a benevolent father figure who may represent your own father or someone who fills that role for you. He can also signify an older man with whom you either have or want a romantic relationship. Whether a friend, advisor, or lover, he is utterly trustworthy and dependent. He can be relied upon to come through for you when you need him. Most interpretations consider this king to be a man of culture, interested in the arts, possibly himself a creative type. If the king does not represent an actual person, the card indicates a situation that is favorable, especially in an artistic pursuit. Reversed, your involvement in a relationship involving love is ending, but the process should not cause much pain. It is time to move away from dependency on an older person, perhaps your father, or a mentor or teacher, and strike out on your own. Whether the circumstances are related to a person or to your own inner psychic process, the results are the same. It is also possible that the king reversed represents someone who is trying to get rid of you for some reason, romantic or otherwise. You need to let go, and if necessary, mourn the passing of something that was good once, but is now over. I think that I still see the card as I've always seen it, although I will take into consideration more of the thought process behind this card. So when I see it for myself, as in myself, I'm going to, because of my interpretation and my intuition, say, Alicia, your cup is full. You have mastered how you feel. Now make sure that you don't allow your ego or your mind to talk you out of those heartfelt decisions. There we go. Stay tuned, guys. There's 4 more to come today. My name is Alicia, and this is Enlightenment Newbie. If you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe and tell your friends. It's just all about building the community. We're not alone. There are lots of people that believe these things or are interested in these things. So come on in. The water's fine. Do you like that? King of Cups.